Today we've got the combined map for how often both parties have won a race for governor and for the U.S. Senate since 2000. I've already broken this down separately for each party. Today we're going to combine the two numbers so you can see which states are redder and bluer. This is basically just cutting the two previous videos in half and combining them. But there is one difference here. Because some states do have independent candidates, that means we might not have a majority in every state. And remember, any special elections in the U.S. Senate are not going to be counted if they happen to be on the same day as the regular election to finish the remainder of a term. There's a few of those. There's also a few party switches out there that happen after the election. We're only going to go by their affiliation at the time of the election. So most of these states had at least 14 or 15 elections going back to 2000 between the two offices. Some states have had different political transformations during that time, so it'll be fun to see where everything lands. So at the top, I've got 13 tiers of shading, 6 for the Dems, 6 for the GOP, 1 in the middle for no majority. So we're ready to get into this. Let's start with the states where it's 100% control in both offices, governor and Senate, for the Democrats. We've got 2 states. It's Delaware and Washington. The next tier, at least 90% for the Dems. It's New York and Oregon. In the next tier, 80% for the Dems. We've got a bunch of states. Alphabetically, it's California, Connecticut, Hawaii, Illinois, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, New Mexico, New Jersey, and Virginia. A little bit lighter shade of blue now. We've got at least 70% for the Dems. 4 states. It's Colorado, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and a pretty red state, but in this it is going to be blue. That is West Virginia. The next tier, 1 state for 60% for the Dems. That's the Badger State, and it's Wisconsin. Now, the very lightest shade of blue, just over a majority for the Dems. We've got Big Sky Country, Montana. Then it's New Hampshire. Finally, Pennsylvania. Now, before we get to the Republicans, we've got no majority in between. There's one state where neither of the two major political parties actually won a majority of these elections. That state is going to be Vermont. Between the two offices, Democrats have won 8, Republicans 10. But independent Bernie Sanders also has 4 wins of his own. That's 22 elections. Nobody has a majority of at least 11. Republicans come close at 10, but it's not going to cut it. So no pluralities here. We're going to color this state in light purple. It's going to be no majority in the Green Mountain State. Now we'll go into the light shade of red. We've got Republican states with at least 50%. We've got 4 states. First, it's Arizona. Then we'll go right back into the northeast corner and plug in Maine. Then the Tar Heel State, North Carolina. Then we'll head out west and put in Nevada. Up to the next tier, 60% for the GOP. We've got Louisiana and Missouri. Up one more tier, medium red states. It's Arkansas, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, North Dakota, and Ohio. A little bit darker shade of red now. We've got 80%. It's Alaska, Indiana, Nebraska, Florida, Georgia, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Tennessee, and Wyoming. The second highest tier, 90% for the Republicans, just 1 state. To the deep south, it's Alabama. Republicans winning 14 out of 15 of those elections. The only one Dems had success in was the special election in the Senate in 2017 with Doug Jones. So we've got 5 states left. They're going to be the darkest red, 100% for the Republicans. Dems totally shut out in Idaho, Mississippi, South Carolina, Texas, and Utah. So that is the entire map. Now you can see where the real red and the blue states are over the past 25 plus years. The biggest standout has to be West Virginia. It's not at all a deep blue state, especially for president. But in the Senate and governor, Dems have had a ton of success there up until very recently. That state is even darker blue than Montana. That's another red state, but not as red as you might consider West Virginia. Some other solid Republican states in the South, not extremely red here, like Missouri and Louisiana. Even Kansas is not ruby red. But then in the Northeast, you've got Maine. That's a blue-leaning state, but thanks to some independents, Republicans actually have a small majority there. When it comes to complete shutouts, Democrats have 2, Republicans have 5. Overall, with any kind of majority, Democrats have 22, Republicans are at 27, and 1 in the middle, that's Vermont. So a lot of good stuff here over the past 2.5 decades. Some states things have changed a lot, others not so much. Other times it takes a special kind of unique appeal to win in some of these states. Usually that happens for governor. That's where the minority political party has their best opportunity to have a win. But throughout all these years and all these states, there's certainly some different exceptions out there if you win through every election. The bottom line here is Republicans come out with more success, but they've got some droughts out there, even in some red states. states, Dems could also be due to make a few of these states a darker shade for themselves. But this is it. This combines all the data since 2000 for governor and for the U.S. Senate, and this shows you how often each party has won in every state. So let me know in the comments, what stands out to you in this data? Which couple of red or blue states do you think don't fit in with the rest? And how many of these states are going to continue to get darker and darker, and which are going to get lighter and lighter? Let me know what you think down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to support the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.